So this is something that I think a lot of you wouldn't notice or think about until August, and by then it would be absolutely too late. So we're going to address it now in May so that it doesn't become a problem later. So August and even July for some people is when it is peak summer. It is really, really hot, and a lot of us get to the point where our garden is weedy and we just kind of want to give up on everything and abandon our plants because it's too much work in the heat, in the sun, and we just can't do it anymore. And I think that this is the culmination of signs that start appearing as early as May, which is where we're at now. And I want to help you look for those signs and start heading that off before it gets to that point where you are fully giving up on your garden. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Rachel, and you are right now in the middle of my free garden planning course. If you haven't seen the rest of these videos, then I highly recommend that you go down to the link below and check them out, because I take you all the way through the entire garden planning process. It is all for free right here on YouTube. So go catch up and then meet me back here. All right, so today we are turning in our planners to the journaling prompt for May, and we are going to take stock of the things that are draining us, making us feel exhausted, as well as the things that are making us feel energized and also fulfilled in our gardening, because outlining these things very specifically is going to give you a good idea of where that burnout is going to come later down the line and allow you to head it off right here at the beginning. For me, so far, this has been the best year I've had in a while as far as not feeling very drained and exhausted, but there are still some things that are weighing on me that I think if I allow them to get out of control will become actual problems. So of course, one of the most relatable and overwhelming parts of gardening is the weeding. And the way that I keep my garden right now, it is pretty weedy. And so every time I want to plant something, there's like an entire 2 hours of weeding that has to happen in that area before I can even begin the fun part of planting. And thinking about that every time I go to plant something is really, really exhausting. So what can I do about that to make that a little bit less draining? Well, what I've started trying to work into my schedule is having a day that is just the weeding, so that when the day comes and it's time to plant, I get to do just the fun planting part. And I think that that's been working out pretty well for me as far as keeping those tasks kind of separate. It no longer feels like a grueling marathon of a day out in the garden to do the weeding and the planting all in one go. The next thing I've been finding really exhausting, to the point of procrastinating it for the most part, is getting my new raised beds filled. It's a lot of work to fill a new raised bed, especially if you're trying to do it cheaply, because I'm sitting here trying to gather sticks and logs to put into the bottom of the raised bed to bulk it out so that I don't have to spend that much money on soil, money that I don't have. So I have to do it this way. And that I'm trying to solve by simply asking for help. So I have a couple of friends who are supposedly going to be free to come help me this weekend, and I think that we will be able to knock it out, and turning it into a social activity, even if it's still hard work. I will be getting the help, but also I'll be socializing, and I think that that will make a major difference. Another thing that I've been finding mostly mentally exhausting is thinking about what I'm going to be doing long term with my asparagus and my sunchokes. These are two things that can really take over. They are perennials, and every single year they get more established and they can kind of spread out as they go. And finding the right place to put those in my garden long term feels just like a lot. It's a lot to think about and plan, and I'm not even sure if I have the space. So for now, what I really want to do is give myself the grace to potentially think about that in the fall, because even if I knew right now what I needed to do, I wouldn't be executing on that until the fall anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and push that to the less busy season. And then last on this list, I have that I have been thinking way too hard about moving. So for those of you who don't know, I rent this space, I rent this house, and my landlord has been really great about letting me do whatever I want with the yard, but renting a house is not my long-term goal. I would love to buy some land where I have more space and get myself established on a place that I own where I can actually do all the things that I want to do. And thinking about the process of moving my garden as it is now to a new place is just insurmountably huge, because I want to take a lot with me as much as I can, and that is going to be really, really hard. However, I am in no position to be buying land or buying a house right now, and so I definitely need to just let go of that worry for now. That's one of those we're going to cross that bridge when we get there kind of things. So on the flip side, looking at the things that make me more energized, these are the things that I want to work more of into my schedule so that I can balance out the things that are making me feel a little more exhausted. And so right now I'm really enjoying picking my strawberries. I am enjoying going outside and kind of puttering around, and I will just have my little bucket of strawberries, which is very small right now. It will get bigger. But right now I just have my little bucket, and I can eat my strawberries as I go around and just take my time looking at every single plant. It has been so fun to notice all the new growth on the plants throughout the spring, especially even just yesterday here at the end of April. I am seeing some new growth, some new plants coming back that I thought might have been dead. So every day I get surprised with some new growth, and that has just been so fulfilling. And making the time to be outside more has also helped me have time to sit and imagine the abundance of the garden that is to come. And I think imagining how excited I'm going to be for that is going to help offset the exhaustion that I will feel when it is processing time. I am excited about it. I really am. And I want to intentionally carry that excitement through the busy part of the season where it is going to be a lot to deal with. I'm also just so excited to be planting new things. And I think that is a major thing that keeps my excitement and fulfillment up for gardening, is seeing all the new things that I can grow that I could never buy in a store, and maybe even never buy from a farmer's market. Like, these are some very niche plants that I get to see and grow and experiment with, and that is just so cool to me, and it makes the hard work worth it. And one of the most fulfilling things about my garden that I've noticed lately is that I've actually learned a lot over the years. I am handling things a lot better than I used to. I am more on top of things. I understand kind of the flow of the seasons a little bit better. And of course, I still have a long way to go, but it makes me feel very fulfilled and very happy to recognize how far I've come and how I would not have been capable of this just 5 years ago. So I want to know down in the comments, what is making you feel drained and exhausted versus energized and fulfilled in your garden? And how are you going to use that information to help avoid the August burnout? Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, happy gardening.